Hello and good afternoon, Keluarga Malaysia. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Azlani. Making the headlines today, Malaysia applies for additional Hajj quota. And yet another violence erupted in Palestine. Malaysia has applied for an additional 5,000 Hajj quota from the Saudi Arabian government for this year's Hajj season. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, said approval would depend on the capabilities provided by the Saudi Arabian government.
Kalau boleh, itu pun kita terpaksa bergantung kepada kemampuan yang diberikan oleh pihak kerajaan Saudi, kerana kita faham kerana fasiliti sana itu disediakan oleh mereka dan mereka memahamilah di sudut kesihatan dan sebagainya. Wallahualam, itu pun kita hanya mohon saja. Kerana bidang kuasa ni letak totally kepada pihak kerajaan Saudi.
He said this when met by reporters after attending an Aidilfitri gathering organised by the Mustafa Samad Village Development and Security Committee in Kampong Pasir, Taiping. The minister also said that offer letters declined by prospective pilgrims who face problems, including due to health reasons and age factors, would also be offered to other candidates. Therefore, he advised prospective pilgrims to look after their health, since they must pass a medical examination to obtain a pilgrim visa, as stipulated by the Saudi Arabian government. Previously, on 21st April, Dato' Idris announced that the Hajj quota for Malaysian pilgrims was 14,306, or 45% of the normal quota given by Saudi Arabia. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah has departed to visit the President of the United Arab Emirates UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, at a Mushrif Palace in Abu Dhabi. According to Comptroller of the Royal Household for Istana Negara, Dato' Ahmad Fadil Shamsuddin, His Majesty was received by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. During the face-to-face meeting that lasted almost an hour, His Majesty conveyed his condolences to the President and the UAE government and congratulated Sheikh Mohammed Zayed Al Nahyan on his appointment as the new President and Head of State of the UAE. According to Dato' Ahmad Fadil, the King also expressed his sadness over the death of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former UAE President and ruler of Abu Dhabi, and prayed that he would be blessed by Allah and placed among the faithful. He said the King viewed the death of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan as a great loss for UAE citizens and other Arab nations, and expressed his hope that his family will remain strong in dealing with such a loss. UAE Prime Minister and Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Fujairah ruler Sheikh Hamad bin Muhammad Al Sharqi, and Sharjah ruler Sheikh Sultan Al Muhammad Al Qasimi, and other UAE cabinet ministers were also present at the meeting. According to Dato' Ahmad Fadil, Malaysia and UAE had very cordial and close bilateral relations at all levels, including between leaders and their people, adding that the King said that the existing ties should be improved, especially in economic, commerce and investment matters. The Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development Ministry, KUSCOP, is planning to provide special scheme to help graduate entrepreneurs. According to Minister Tan Sri Noh Omar, details on the matter will be revealed soon.
Jadi saya akan bagi itu kemudian, tapi memang kita sedang membincang kalau kita contoh, kalau kita ada skim untuk informal, jadi itu untuk informal. Tapi saya rasa dah sampai masa kita juga kena merancang satu skim khusus untuk usahawan-usahawan yang terdiri daripada siswazah ni.
Tan Sri Noh said this at the media at the Kuskop Ministers' Aidilfitri celebration, which was also attended by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Semasa Yaakob in Shah Alam last night. He also said his ministry would continue to help entrepreneurs with various forms of assistance provided by the government, especially when the country's economic activities are now back to normal. A total of 1,063,569 children aged 5 to 11, or 30% of the child population in Malaysia, have completed their vaccination under the National COVID-19 Immunisation Program for Children Kids as of yesterday. 1,646,257 children, or 46.4% of the group, have received at least one dose of the vaccine. For teenagers aged 12 to 17, a total of 2,905,317 individuals have been fully vaccinated. At the same time, a total of 16,066,394 individuals, or 68.3% of the adult population, have received the booster dose. 22,971,246 individuals, or 97.6% of the population, have completed their COVID-19 vaccination, and 23,024,211 individuals have received at least one jab. Yesterday, a total of 9,228 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine were dispensed. This brings the cumulative number of vaccine doses administered under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program to 70,689,336. Continuous heavy rain since the afternoon has triggered flash floods in several locations in 3 states. However, only one relief centre's PPS was opened last night. The locations are Kuala Kubu Baru in Selangor, Nilai Seremban and Kuala Pilah in Negeri Sembilan, and Baling in Kedah. In Selangor, State Fire and Rescue Department Director Nur Azam Kamil said they received a report of flash floods at about 6 p.m. involving Kampung Jawa, Kampung Pasir and Kerling Estate, Sungai Dua Kerling in Kuala Kubu Baru. He said the water level in the affected areas was about 1.8 meters and no PPS had been opened so far. In Negeri Sembilan, Nilai Fire and Rescue Station Chief Bakaria Muhammad Saleh said about 10 houses in Kampung Sungai Mahang were affected by flash floods. In Kedah, one PPS was opened in Baling last night, namely at Sekolah Kebangsaan Tawa, to accommodate residents from 22 houses. Kedah Civil Defence Force Disaster Management and Operations Division Chief Captain Saifuddin Abdullah said the PPS was opened at 8:10 p.m. and the victims involved were from Kampung Padang Setul, Mukim Tawa. Still to come in sports, Malaysian quartet break a national record in relay. Stay tuned. The men's 4x100-meter quartet put on their best performance by clinching the silver medal in the SEA Games, running a national record-breaking time of 39.09 seconds. The strong combination of Muhammad Azim Muhammad Fahmi, who is hailed as a Malaysian Usain Bolt, Muhammad Arshad Muhammad Saad, Muhammad Zulfikar Ismail and defending 100-meter sprint champion Muhammad Haikal Hanafi managed to break the country's previous record of 39.27 seconds. The previous record was set by Nixon Kennedy, Muhammad Haikal Hanafi, Khairul Hafiz Jantan and Russell Alexander Nasir Taib at the 2019 SEA Games in the Philippines. Thailand retained the gold medal with 38.58 seconds and broke the game's record of 38.9 seconds that they set at the 2017 edition in Kuala Lumpur, while Singapore came in third after clocking 39.44 seconds. In the women's 4x100 meter event, Malaysia bagged a bronze medal with the help of Nur Sara Adi, as Komalam Shali, Zaidatul Husnia Zulkifli and Azrin Nabila Alias. They clocked 45.32 seconds with Thailand winning gold and Vietnam the silver. Earlier, Savinder Kaur Joginder Singh won the bronze medal in the women's 800 meter event after clocking 2 minutes 10.240 of a second behind Vietnam's An Quat Phuong and Indonesia's Agustina Mardika. Meanwhile, Malaysia rose from behind to beat host Vietnam 3-1 and qualified for the semi-final stage of the men's team event at the Bac Giang Gymnasium. The national junior team was trailing behind after experienced Vietnamese shuttler Vietnam Nguyen Tien Minh beat Jackie Kok Jing Hong 21-14, 24-26, 21-7 in the first singles. Malaysia managed to make it 1-1 when first doubles pair Man Wei Chong and T Kai Woon set aside their challenges, Do Tuan Duk and Pam Hong Nam 21-8, 20-22, 21-18. Lee Shun Yang then beat Lee Duk Fat 21-19, 27-25 in the second singles before second national pair Wan Arif Wan Junaidi and Muhammad Haikal Nazri booked a Malaysia spot in the semis by defeating Nguyen Ding Huang and Chang Ding Meng 15-21, 21-12, 22-20. Malaysia will take on Singapore in the semi-finals later today. Singapore managed to book its semi-final slot after downing Laos 3-0. Meanwhile, the women's national junior team fell in the quarterfinals in the shocking 1-3 loss to Vietnam. First singles player Siti Nur Shuhani Azman lost 9-21, 8-21 to Nguyen Tai Ling, while Vu Chin Chang put the hosts in a comfortable 2-0 position by beating Siti Zulaika Azmi 21-9, 21-7. National first doubles pair Goh Pei Ki and Yap Ling won Malaysia's first point by beating Ding Chi Puang Hong and Do Tai Huai 12-21, 21-15, 21-16. However, third singles player Ong Shin Yi succumbed to pressure and lost 13-21, 15-21 to Vu Tai Ang Tui, ending the country's challenge in that event. Malaysia will take on defending champions Vietnam in the semi-final stage of the football event scheduled to take place at Viet Tri Stadium in Pua Thong Province this Thursday. The national under-23 squad finished second in Group B behind Thailand, who will take on Indonesia in the other semi-final match as the remaining 4 teams strive for the gold medal at the biennial games. The under-23 squad under Brad Maloney had been predicted to finish at the top of the group and started off their campaign well with a 2-1 win against Thailand, followed by a 3-1 victory over Laos. Unfortunately, they then drew 2-2 against Singapore and Cambodia respectively, finishing with 8 points. Thailand, meanwhile, had a resurgence after their loss to the national under-23 team, covering 3 consecutive wins, 5-0 against Singapore, 5-0 against Cambodia and 1-0 against Laos. The last time Malaysia and Vietnam met in the semi-finals was in the 2005 edition in the Philippines, with Vietnam emerging with a 2-1 win and the national squad ending the campaign with the bronze after downing Indonesia 1-0 in the third place decider. Malaysia also lost to Vietnam at the same stage in 2003. Malaysia did, however, exact revenge on Vietnam in 2009 when they won the gold with a 1-0 win in the final in Laos. The last time Malaysia won the gold in the SEA Games football tournament was in 2011 in Indonesia under the guidance of Dato' Ong Kem Sui. Their best showing after that was a silver in 2017, and they were eliminated in group stage in a 2019 edition in the Philippines. That's it from us this afternoon. Wrapping up updates at noon with a reminder of our top story. Malaysia applies for additional Hajj quota. Tune in to News at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM. Till then, I'm Azlani. Goodbye for now.